Well, hello there, Self-Love Synergy. I'm back. I know it's been a while, and that is because I've been going through a little something, these men. I've said it, I've spoken in another video that I'm going through a breakup, and well, you know how it goes. When you start to look good and feel good and start to do something with yourself, all of a sudden the past comes back to say hello. I guess, I don't know. However, it was a short-lived reunion. He hurried on back to the woman he left me for as soon as she said so, I guess. I don't know. So this video, I'm going to be talking about not taking things personally. Yes, because in truth, when you're taking things personally, you're actually in your ego. Yeah, believe it or not. And that's what I have to keep telling myself, to stay out of my ego when things like that happens. I have to understand that it isn't me, it's him. It's whatever he's going through and whatever is easier in his life, that's what he's choosing to do. Because if he were to come to me or, come back to me, well, he has to mature, he has to straighten up, fly right. And he likes having fun too much. So I don't think that's going to happen. However, yeah, so how do you move on? Or a lot of people will say it's called detaching. And by detaching, I like to say just to remember who you are. We are love. We are living one vibrational energy. And so if we begin to think thoughts like, oh, how could I change that person? Or how come he won't come to me? Or if we're trying to control an outcome, that's not what love does. Not divine love, anyway. Toxic love, selfish love may do that. But divine love, it lives one vibrational energy with everyone. So if a person decides to leave you, let them. Let them. That's the new thing or whatever. I've heard that on YouTube quite a bit. Let them go. Let them go. And the reason for that is because that is the divine, unconditional love that you can give to a partner who you claim to have loved. And that's how you allow them to live one vibrational energy within themselves. If you do it through kindness, And it takes work. It takes practice. I mean, I wasn't so kind when I first realized that he was just playing me again. However, I was beginning to really begin to love myself, and I was having a good time, starting this YouTube and everything. And I started thinking and believing that I can actually do this alone if I have to, do it single if I have to. So it doesn't matter to me as much anymore, as it did in the past. And I'm able to let him go a lot more easier than in the past. I heard in a video that if you were to actually let a person go while it's very difficult, then that shows extreme amount of strength. And that shows that you're actually really ready to move on, especially when it hurts. Do you know how strong and resilient and courageous you're being if you're actually letting go of someone that you truly want? It's powerful. It's powerful. And I think that once you realize after you let the individual go, what you really wanted was you all along. You see, I seen these other videos where they're saying you're not looking for love, you're looking to be chosen. And you know what? There may be some truth in that, because I think that was when it was very difficult for me to let go of a man. It was when I used to believe that I needed a man to prove to the world that I was lovable, that I was a good woman because of the way I looked, kind of, and my intelligence. People who knew me, they would say, "How come you don't have a man? How come you don't have a man?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I just haven't found the right one." But then I would find a man and I would want to stay with him for the rest of my life so that everyone would know, yes, I got a man and I'm all good. However, when you have men who are immature and are still in their toxic masculine mode, which is selfish love, which is where they care about themselves more than they do the relationship with you. The romantic relationship, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual relationship that comes along with the physical relationship. Those three relationships, or actually four relationships, are all one, all in one relationship. And when men and women aren't in their divine, living one vibrational energy with all state, then they tend to go into the toxic, selfish love. And I don't think it isn't because we're evil or anything like that. It's just our human nature. Because right now, the way humanity thinks is that we were born into this world. There's no handbook, and we're just in survival mode, pretty much. And I think that we need to really get out of survival mode and get into divine mode. I'm sorry, I'm trying to see if I could make this picture better, but the sun is out and I really can't. Maybe if I go under this tree over here. Look at the squirrel. Oh yeah, much better. Oopsie, my glasses want to fall. What I'm gonna do is take off my shoes, my pretty gold slippers. I thought I was gonna go on a date, and so I bought some gold slippers, and I was trying to act like Cinderella, and I was thinking maybe I'll leave one in his car so he has to come back. However, that date didn't go through. That's another thing, this online dating. My goodness, it's like, do men really want love, or do they just want to have a good time? And yeah, that's another thing. You see, I speak about living one vibrational energy with all. And when you do that, you need to tap into both your divine feminine and your divine masculine energies. And maybe people don't believe in such energies, but I'm here to tell you, oh yeah. Divine feminine is especially interesting because there is sexuality, sensuality, beauty, attraction, nourishment, just all this good stuff that can really turn a man on. We're born with it. We truly are. I remember my younger years when I first started dating, and how much men really just was after one thing. And it was very scary. And so when I did settle with one gentleman for many, many years, I thought I was out of the game. And I thought I didn't have to deal with that anymore. But apparently, nope. I still have to deal with it. However, when I was younger, I didn't know that it was a divine feminine energy that was attracting these men. I just thought, maybe my beauty, but it was the divine energy. Because when I was younger, I was a lot more kinder, more trusting, more generous, more sharing. I was just a dynamite. But then I had no boundaries. Well, I tried to have boundaries, but it's difficult. It's difficult when you're having someone trying to convince you to not have those boundaries. And when I was younger, it was harder for me to say no than I am today. I mean, today I can say no problem. As long as I'm kind about it. I feel it's a beautiful thing to say no. And the person, if they truly respect you, they will respect your no. Yeah. So anyway, these videos, I really don't know what to say in them. I always get stuck. So I really wanted to make sure that I spoke about don't take things personal. Don't take things personal. If someone rejects you or leaves you for someone else or decides that, it's over or they want to move on to other things, let them do it. And you know what? Don't even give it a second thought. Just wish them well and start to look inside of you. And if you do have problems and you just can't let them go, then start asking yourself why. Why do I feel this way? Why can't I let him go? When I did that with my ex and I started asking why couldn't I let him go, some of the answers were, I didn't think I could get another man. Can you believe that? That's not true. Or I didn't think that I could, make it without him. And I discovered that's not even true. And I thought if he were to leave me, it's because he never loved me. And that's the one that hurt the most. However, that's not true either. He may not have loved me in a divine manner, but he loved me. That's why he kept coming back, But again, I had my boundaries up, so he couldn't just slide in and slide out as much as he would have wanted to. I'm pretty sure, I think he really wanted his cake and he wanted to eat it too. However, no. I'm the cake. You eat me. I'm the cherry on top of the cake. I'm the whole deal. And that's what I want, and I want a man who wants that too. However, I'm not going to judge men who aren't ready for that. Actually, when I tried to have a date, the reason why we canceled was because I realized that he was more of a playboy kind of thing, and I don't think he was looking for anything meaningful at all, or even monotonous, or monogamy. Is that, just one? I think he liked a lot of flavor. And hell, more power to him. It's just I'm not ready for anything like that. I am just still trying to get myself together, get my worth really understood within me, my confidence up, because I would have a problem with a man looking at another woman or talking to another woman when they're with me. These green eyes. My mother would refer sometimes as the green-eyed monster, the jealous woman. And I realize now, though, the only reason why I was jealous was because at that time I didn't have my life together. I was still struggling with alcohol and habits that weren't serving me, weren't building me up, making me feel worthy. It was just wasting my time kind of thing. So yeah, another woman came along and she seemed like she was happy-go-lucky, had herself together, had it going on, loved to have fun. I'm Miss Serious. I was Miss Serious, Miss Stressful, Miss didn't have any fun. So I would get jealous of the woman and thinking that I couldn't be like that, which is another false. It's false. Test your theories out. Like if you were to say, if I were to say, I don't think I can get another man. Well, I put a couple of pictures up on that Facebook dating. Yeah, there was all kinds. I mean, that one, he was very interesting. I kind of wanted that one to, take root. However, there's still another 50 more I have to sort through and see. And it's more coming every day. But I do notice there's a lot of young guys that are trying to talk to me, and I'm like, why are you trying to talk to a woman who can be old enough to be your mama? What are you looking for? You looking for love, or are you looking for a mama to take care of you? And I don't want to be a mama taking care of my man as a mother role. I want to take care of him as the divine feminine role. And that means he's got to be able to take care of himself, And what I do is just encourage, uplift, inspire, smile, bring joy, happiness, peace. Don't disrupt, don't bring drama, kind of thing. That's how I give him the nourishment of his mama, I guess, in the divine feminine way, as the partner, not as his mama. Yeah, that's one thing too, is I really do believe that if women were to really level up and step into this divine feminine energy where they can live one vibrational energy with all, and they can use kindness and patience and joy and gratitude and self-control and goodness. Is that all? I'm thinking of the spirits, of the fruits of the spirit. There may be compassion, might be up in there. But because I heard a preacher say that when the Holy Spirit is working within you through God's intention, kindness comes out. And when he said kindness, it triggered the 7 fruits. And I'm thinking not only kindness, but goodness and patience and joy and peace and compassion and love. All of them will come out. And when they do, and you can treat every person you know through those fruits, then the Holy Spirit is working in you. The intentions of God is working within you. Even if you don't believe in God or not, that's what's happening. So, yeah, try to get to that state where you can actually operate in those fruits with authenticity, because you are worthy. You are worthy of anything, and to do, and to have anything you desire. You just have to align up with it. Yeah, that's another thing. We're going to go into manifestation real soon. However, I just wanted to, try to, because I see people doing manifestation videos and they're very good. And I see all of these things, even divine feminine videos. However, I want to make sure that we understand we do it through God, not through our self, kind of like our ego. We do it through our ally, basically. Instead of doing it by edging, living one vibrational energy out with everyone out, you allow living one vibrational energy with everyone in. And again, with boundaries. You always have to remember that it is with boundaries, and you have to have strength, and you have to be firm and, respectful. And another thing is to always give out into the world what you want back, because you reap what you sow. There's a cause and effect, what goes in has to come out or has to come back. It's a boomerang effect in the universe. It's happening through energy. And so be careful of how you treat others when they are doing something that you don't want them to do, like not want to be in a relationship with you, or not want to go out with you, or whatever, or want to do things their way and not your way. Don't get upset. Don't get upset. Let it go and let it flow. And let the divine living one vibrational energy that is giving life to all of us, take care of it. Because it will be taken care of. Again, we live in a universe where energy is the law, and you can't go against electromagnetic energy. And how that energy works is there is a boomerang effect. So what you put out, you will receive back. And if the person who is leaving you, if they do it in a very messy way, well, that mess may just come back to them in their life in another relationship later on. So you don't even have to worry about it. And the good part with the universe, there's also an equilibrium thing going on. So anything that you go through in your struggle and your survival, the harder, the more difficult, the more challenging it is. And you get through it and you break through, and you can eventually get into a place where you can express the fruits of the Spirit. Well, the pendulum will swing back to you, where everything that, the amount of stress and anxiety and, all of the pain and suffering that you went through, you are going to get that back in dharma or goodness. Like, it will be all the good of it. The balance of the good of it will come to you. Believe. That's the evidence of God. This is the evidence of God, how this works, how it truly works. That everyone is trying to say, oh, where's God? God is in the flow. God is in everything. I'm sorry I'm going into that again, but it's true. And I just want everyone on my channel to know that when I speak on these things, I am coming from a divine perspective. I am not coming from the ego. I am not coming from selfishness or greed or trying to manipulate others or play games. I'm speaking the truth. I want us to understand how to be authentic, because our authentic self, I believe, is the image of God that we were created in originally. Authentically, I was going to say, but originally. The sinner is because we were born into a world of sin, and we were taught and programmed through sin. And by sin, I mean like not knowing what the real deal is, where we think we are taking everything personally. We think that other people are doing this to us on purpose because they don't like us or this or that, when in reality, people are really, truly concerned over themselves, and they only have projections and ideas and images of who we are in their head. And it's not the real person of who we truly are. So whatever a person imagines and believes of you, it's not true. It doesn't make it true. So don't you believe what they believe of you. You can, put it into consideration, and maybe when you think on how they perceive you, if you think there could be something that needs to be in your awareness, you can think about it, and you could, whatever it is, if you think you need to change or do something different, then do it. Because I remember once my ex, he basically was bored. He would say that he's bored a lot. And I'm like, first of all, I'm not responsible to make him excited. However, at that time, I thought I was. I thought I needed to make him excited somehow, because I didn't want to lose him because he's bored. But, to make things exciting required money for him, because he didn't really think that going for walks in nature was exciting, or just, sitting and watching a movie together and, having candlelight and having something good to eat. Well, I think he liked that a little bit, but that wasn't really exciting for him. He liked to be out and around people and, having other women stroke his ego, I guess. Sorry, Lord, I shouldn't say that, but could be true. Really, a lot of people, when they're in their survival mode and when they don't understand that they are, living one vibrational energy, they are love, and they can be, do, and have anything they want. And they're really into the 3D world and what people say and opinions and gossip and everything. They will. Oh, shoot. I forgot my thought, what I was just thinking. But if you're listening, then maybe you know where I was going. However, yeah, so just don't worry about things. Don't take things personally. I'm sorry, I'm going to just keep on saying that. And I know I was talking about something about being in survival mode. Oh, and when you're in a 3D, you do tend to believe the wrong way. I'm going to say it the way I feel it. And people do believe the wrong way. And since the power of belief is so strong in our lives, it really can get us stuck. It can get us to not have confidence in ourselves, no belief in ourselves. It could get us to not be motivated, not be inspired. So please do not believe other people's opinions. Do not take things personally if another person hurts you. Understand that hurt people, and people who aren't, living one vibrational energy with all also hurts people. Yeah. So always remember that. And that's all I have to say for today. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. I had to just put a video out there on YouTube because it's been, 2 weeks and I haven't said anything. So, yeah, I hope that you enjoyed it. Okay? And we'll talk more at another time. Okay? Take care.